All right, you guys, imaginary numbers. I think you're really good at these. The first one, remember we just treat I until we square it as a variable. 2 plus 3I minus 7 minus 6I. So the only thing about this is that we need to distribute this negative here. So minus 7 plus 6I. Then combine our like terms, so we get negative 5 plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 9i, and we have a complex number. And multiplying it might be a little more fun. 3i times 5 minus 2i. Distribute, I get 15i minus 6i squared. This is where things get fun. I squared, do not forget, an imaginary number is the square root of -1. If I square the square root of -1, I simply get -1. So anytime I have an I squared, I'm just going to replace it with -1. So this is 15i minus 6 times -1. I almost wrote I there. -1. So it's really 15i, and this is -6, okay? Minus a -6 is plus 6, but to norm things out, we like to write it as 6 plus 15i. And one more fun multiplication. Oh, so this one we're going to have to you're either going to FOIL, or you are going to break it apart, or you're going to use an area model of 5 plus 2i times 5 minus 2i. So if you FOIL it, your first 2 is going to be 5 times 5 is going to be 25. Your outside is going to be 5 times -2i, so -10i. Your inside is going to be positive 10i. Oh, look, that's going to cancel out. So actually, we're not going to have any i's left, because then we're going to have my last 2 is going to be -4i squared. So my -10i and my positive 10i cancel out. And I'm going to have 25 minus -4, which is just going to be equal to 29. Check my mental math there again, but I believe that that's correct. If you want to do it with an area model, it would look like this. And this would be 5 plus 2i, 5 minus 2i, 25, positive 10i, -10i, -4i squared. And these cancel. -4i squared is actually the same thing as positive 4. And when we combine, we get, again, 29. I want to see really quick, if I knew that was the difference of squares, I know that would be 25 minus 4i squared at this point, just because I recognized that that was the difference of squares. All right, one division where you're going to have the conjugate. So we have 2 over 5 plus 3i, so we need to multiply this, both the numerator and the denominator, by 5 minus 3i instead, right? Cool. So what this looks like now is our numerator, if I distribute that 2, is 10 minus 15i, and my denominator is going to be, again, we have the difference of squares, right? It will be 25 minus 9i squared, but 9i squared is going to be just a number, so we have 10 minus 15i, and 25 minus and 9i squared is just going to be negative 9, so it's going to be 25 plus 9, which is going to be 34. But if you want to write it as a complex number, well, first of all, can we simplify this at all? 2 can't go into everything. 5 can't go into everything. I think not, but what we can do is say 10 over 34 minus 15i over 34. If you want to get fancy, I guess you could say that 10 over 34 is the same as 5 over 17, but since you can't do this to the other one, I don't know how much that is helping. And the question on the review does not say to put it like this, but I'm not sure what the test says. Question 18, if we have I to the 18th power, what does that simplify down to? So remember, every I squared is equal to negative 1. So this is interesting because I really just have I squared to the power of 9. So that is really just negative 1 to the power of 9, which should just be equal to negative 1 because 9 is an odd number. Is that correct? I think so. Double check me on the calculator. Put that in the calculator. And then B is I to the 31st power, which is the same as I to the 30th power times I. And the reason I write it like this is because I to the 30th power can be written as I squared to the 15th power, which is just going to give us negative 1 times I. All right, next we have, oh, this is kind of an SAT question. You guys thought you were over that, didn't you? AX squared minus 17x plus 33 equals 0. It says that one solution is 3. It says find A and the other solution. So if I know 3 is a solution, I think I can figure out A, right? So I don't know A, but I know that A times 9, because 3 squared is 9, so let's say call that 9A, minus 17 times 3 is 51, plus 33. If that's a solution, then I know that's got to be equal to 0. So 9A, so what is A? 9A, negative 51 plus 33, minus 18 equals 0. 9A equals positive 18. So A is equal to 2. All right, so what now? What I have now is 2x squared minus 17x plus 33 equals 0. So two numbers that multiply together to be 66, but add up to be negative 17. I want to say probably 11 and 6, but 17, so negative 11 and negative 6, I bet that that's it. So we have 2x squared. Let's make this the even one, minus 6x minus 11x plus 33 equals 0. Factor by grouping, I take out a 2x, and I get x minus 3, take out a negative 11, and I get x minus 3 equals 0. X minus 3 times 2x minus 11. So there's my one answer. X sub 1 was the one it already gave me, was positive 3. So my x sub 2 has got to be the other answer it is looking for, which is going to be positive 11 over 2, or just 5.5. Cool, that was a fun one. All right, let's see if I have time in this video for one more. An object falls at a distance given by the formula d equals 5t plus 2t squared, where d is measured in feet and t is measured in seconds. How many seconds will it take for the object to travel 83 feet? So we are looking for round to one decimal place. So we are looking for our distance to be 82 feet. So how long is it going to take? First of all, this seems weird because it says this object is falling, which would be a negative equation, but it is not. So hopefully this works out. But let's see, let's factor out a t over here. So we get 5 plus 2t. We need this to be equal to 82. You know what? Let's not do what I just said, and instead let's just use the quadratic formula. I bet that that's going to be the easiest way. So 5t plus 2t squared. So we're going to have 2t squared plus 5t minus 82 equals 0. So a is equal to 2, b is equal to 5, and c is equal to negative 82. So x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 4 times a is 8 times c. So 8 times 82, and that's going to be a negative number, 82 times 8. 600, negative 656, all over 4. So we get x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 681, which I think, you guys, is actually just 17. Let me do that on the calculator really quick. Oh, nope, just kidding. It's not 17. It is a funky number. So we would just call this 681 all over 4. And then I'm just going to put this into the calculator. So x sub 1 is equal to, and in my calculator I'm doing negative 5 plus the square root of 681, and then dividing that by 4, and I get 5.27. And x sub 2 is equal to, oh, and my x's are t's, you guys. I was just so used to writing x, I should have written t's. T for time. So I'm going to do the same thing, but this case I'm going to subtract the square root of 681 And then I'm going to divide it by 4, and I'm going to get negative 7.77. And I think it said just 1 decimal, so this will be okay. What I want to show you is I got 2 answers. I got a positive answer and I got a negative answer. But when we're dealing with time, this negative answer is not going to mean anything. So that doesn't mean anything. Our answer, and if we're only going to 1 decimal, is going to be this one, which is going to be 5.3. So the answer is going to be, it will take the object approximately 5.3 seconds to travel 83 feet. Travel 83 feet. All right, that's it for the test review. Do not forget, we'll have plenty of time for you guys to ask me questions before the test tomorrow. So eat a good breakfast, study tonight, and I will see you then.